History is full of epic battles and legendary rulers, but some tales stand out for their sheer audacity and drama. Across the windswept plains of the ancient world, stories of power, betrayal, and revenge have echoed for centuries, shaping the legends we know today. Yet few stories are as shocking or as unforgettable as the final act of Queen Tomyris, the fierce ruler of the Massagetae. Her name may not be as familiar as some, but her legacy is carved into the annals of history with blood and iron. Imagine the scene. Cyrus the Great, the founder of the mighty Persian Empire, lies defeated, not just in battle but utterly broken in spirit. His armies, once thought invincible, have been shattered by a queen he underestimated. Tomyris, the queen he wronged through deception and violence, has his severed head brought before her. The moment is heavy with both triumph and sorrow, for this victory comes at a terrible personal cost. In a gesture as symbolic as it is gruesome, she plunges Cyrus's head into a wineskin filled with blood. With unwavering resolve, she declares, "I warned you I would quench your thirst for blood, and so I shall." Her words echo across the ages, a chilling reminder of the price of hubris. This act was more than vengeance. It became a symbol of defiance against imperial ambition, a warning to all who would threaten her people. Tomyris's courage and fury sent shockwaves through the ancient world. Her revenge wasn't just personal. It was a message to every empire that underestimated the strength and resolve of the Massagetae. Tomyris showed that even the greatest kings could fall before the will of a determined people. Her story is a testament to a leader who refused to bow, whose trust was betrayed by a cunning enemy, and whose beloved son was lost to a cruel trick. Tomyris's pain fueled her resolve, transforming her into a legend. The image of a king's head in a wineskin of blood remains one of the most potent and haunting in ancient history. It's a symbol of justice, vengeance, and the high cost of betrayal. Tomyris reminds us that power, leadership, and ruthless determination were not exclusive to men or empires. Her actions shattered expectations and inspired generations to come. But her story doesn't begin with this bloody finale. It starts on the harsh, unforgiving Eurasian steppe, where survival demanded strength, cunning, and an unbreakable will. Tomyris's journey from a nomadic queen to a symbol of resistance is just beginning. To understand Tomyris, you have to know her people, the Massagetae. They were nomads, masters of the Central Asian grasslands, living in felt-covered wagons and following their herds. Both men and women were trained warriors, skilled in horse archery and fiercely protective of their freedom. Their society valued resilience, mobility, and independence, forged by the extremes of their environment. Tomyris grew up in this world, learning to ride, hunt, and fight from a young age. Her name, possibly meaning iron, reflected the strength expected of her. Unlike Persia or Greece, the Massagetae respected women as leaders. Tomyris embodied the toughness and strategic mind her people needed. Soon, these qualities would be tested against the greatest empire of her time. Leadership among the Massagetae wasn't inherited, it was earned. Tomyris, likely the daughter or wife of a chieftain, rose to power after her husband's death, uniting the tribes when they could have fractured. She proved herself through courage, strategy, and the ability to inspire loyalty. Her rule was hands-on, leading raids, mediating disputes, and commanding armies. She ruled from the heart of her moving nation, not a distant palace. Tomyris forged unity among the often fractious tribes, building a loyal following. This unity would be crucial when the greatest threat appeared on the horizon. Her rise was a story of achievement, not inheritance, a true self-made queen. In the 6th century BC, a remarkable figure was reshaping the ancient world. Cyrus the Great, founder of the Achaemenid Empire. His vision and ambition were unlike anything the region had seen before, and his conquests would forever alter the course of history. Cyrus built an empire that stretched from the Aegean Sea in the west all the way to the Indus River in the east, uniting a vast array of peoples and cultures under his rule. After subduing the powerful kingdoms of Media, Lydia, and the legendary city of Babylon, his empire became the largest the world had ever known. Each conquest brought new challenges and opportunities, but also new threats lurking at the edges of his domain. To the north, beyond the well-ordered cities and fertile valleys, lay the vast and unpredictable steppes, home to the fierce Massagetae, a confederation of nomadic tribes renowned for their horsemanship and warrior spirit. To Cyrus, these nomads were both a threat and an opportunity. Controlling them would not only secure his vulnerable northern frontier, but also open up lucrative new trade routes across Central Asia. Before resorting to force, Cyrus attempted diplomacy. He sent envoys to the Massagetae, seeking to win their allegiance through negotiation and alliance. In a bold move, he proposed marriage to their queen, Tomyris, hoping to unite their peoples and annex her kingdom peacefully. The marriage proposal was more than a personal union. It was a calculated political maneuver, a classic strategy to expand his empire without bloodshed. But Tomyris, wise and proud, saw through the ruse. She rejected Cyrus's offer, refusing to be manipulated or to surrender her people's independence for the sake of political convenience. Her defiance was a powerful statement. She would not allow her people to be absorbed into a foreign empire, no matter how mighty. Tomyris's refusal was a direct challenge to Cyrus's authority and ambition. Wounded in pride and determined to expand his dominion, Cyrus began to prepare for war, mobilizing the formidable Persian army for a campaign into the wild and unpredictable lands of the Massagetae. The independence of the Massagetae now stood as a formidable obstacle to his vision of a unified empire stretching across continents. The stage was set for a monumental clash, one that would pit the might of Persia against the fierce resolve of the steppe nomads. Tomyris, undaunted and resolute, would not back down from the coming storm. Knowing a direct fight on the steppe would be tough, Cyrus set a trap. He crossed the Araxes River, built a camp, and left it lightly guarded, filled with wine, a drink unfamiliar to the Massagetae. Tomyris's son, Spargapaces, led his warriors to the camp, overwhelmed the guards, and celebrated with the wine. Drunk and vulnerable, they were ambushed by Cyrus's main force, massacred or captured. Spargapaces, taken prisoner, took his own life in despair. The news devastated Tomyris, turning her defense into a quest for vengeance. She sent Cyrus a chilling ultimatum: leave her lands or face destruction. The trap had worked, but it unleashed a wrath Cyrus could not imagine. Tomyris was now fighting for blood. Grieving and furious, Tomyris rallied every warrior of the Massagetae for a single decisive battle. She united the tribes with a promise of vengeance and freedom. Tomyris chose the battlefield, drawing the Persians deep into unfamiliar territory. She used classic steppe tactics, mobility, archery, and knowledge of the land to her advantage. Her leadership inspired her people, channeling their anger into discipline and resolve. She painted Cyrus as a coward, fueling her warriors' determination. The plan hit the Persians head-on, a move they didn't expect from nomads. The Massagetae would unleash a storm of arrows, then close in for brutal hand-to-hand combat. Tomyris bet everything on the fighting spirit of her people. It was all or nothing, a strategy for total war. The day of battle arrived. Herodotus called it the fiercest clash ever fought between non-Greek peoples. The Persian army, led by Cyrus, faced the united Massagetae under Tomyris. The fight began with a deadly archery duel, the Massagetae inflicting heavy losses. When arrows ran out, the armies charged, colliding in a savage melee. Tomyris's leadership was crucial. She inspired her warriors and directed the fight. The Massagetae, driven by vengeance and fighting for survival, refused to break. The Persians, far from home and worn down, began to falter. Their famous formations crumbled under the relentless assault. In the chaos, Cyrus the Great was killed. The Persian army was destroyed. Tomyris had achieved the impossible, defeating the greatest empire of her time. Her people's freedom was secured. The legend of Tomyris was born. Cyrus's death sent shockwaves through the ancient world. The Persian army was shattered, its legend of invincibility gone. Tomyris kept her promise. She found Cyrus's body and plunged his head into a wineskin of blood. This act defined her place in history. The Massagetae's independence was secured for generations. The Persians, reeling from defeat, left the northern frontier alone. Tomyris became a legend, especially to the Greeks, as a symbol of resistance. Her victory inspired those who dared to stand against empires. For Tomyris, the victory was bittersweet. She avenged her son, but at great cost. Her legacy, a queen who faced the ultimate test and triumphed. Tomyris's story isn't just ancient history. It's a timeless lesson in resistance, courage, and the enduring power of leadership. Her legacy has echoed through the centuries, inspiring countless generations to stand up for what they believe in, no matter the odds stacked against them. She stands as a symbol for defending your homeland and culture, even against impossible odds. Tomyris reminds us that the fight for freedom and identity is universal, transcending borders and eras. Her determination in the face of overwhelming adversity continues to resonate with people today, especially those who strive to protect their communities and values. Tomyris shattered the mold of male-dominated history, proving women could be great leaders and warriors. She broke barriers and challenged expectations, showing that strength and wisdom are not limited by gender. Her story encourages us to recognize the contributions of women throughout history, many of whom have been overlooked or forgotten. Her story urges us to look beyond the usual empires and recognize the complexity of societies like the Massagetae. These ancient peoples were not just footnotes in the tales of larger kingdoms. They had their own vibrant cultures, traditions, and systems of governance that shaped the course of history in their own right. The nomads of the steppe were not just barbarians. They had their own rich cultures and traditions. Their art, music, and way of life were deeply connected to the land and the rhythms of nature. By learning about them, we gain a deeper appreciation for the diversity and ingenuity of human societies. Tomyris's legend calls us to dig deeper into the past and find the stories left out. There are countless voices waiting to be heard, stories of resilience, innovation, and hope that can change how we see the world and ourselves. History is more than dates and facts. It's full of people whose lives still inspire us. Every artifact, every ancient text, and every legend is a thread in the tapestry of our shared human experience, connecting us across time and space. By exploring stories like Tomyris's, we get a richer picture of humanity. We learn to value the lessons of the past and to see ourselves as part of a much larger story, one that is still being written today. So keep exploring, read, watch, and learn. Let curiosity guide you to new discoveries, and let the stories of the past inspire your own journey. The past is waiting, and its lessons matter now more than ever. In every story there is wisdom to be found, wisdom that can help us build a better future if only we choose to listen.